Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for some more of the Toulouse 7. This one, a quarterfinal fixture between New Zealand and Ireland. Now, it still remains a fact the Irish Seven side has never beaten New Zealand in a game of sevens, no matter how close they may have come in the past. Somehow, they still haven't got themselves a victory, but this competition could be completely different in Toulouse. They've got a strong starting lineup. The Kiwis been on a bit of a roll, although they did have that close game up against Uruguay, which could mean the game still has the potential of going either way. But looking through a New Zealand starting lineup, it will be Sam Dixon, Dylan Collier, Sione Mollier, Regan Ware, Akulio Rokali-Soa, Leroy Carter, and Moses Leo, the last player on the field for the Kiwis. Then for the Irish, Harry McNulty, Niall Comerford, Zach Ward, Billy Dardis, Sean Cribben, Jordan Conroy, and also Brian Mullen out there for Ireland. So I would say New Zealand have gone with that little bit more of an experienced side, although they do have the likes of a Scott Curry and also Tim Mickelson to come off the bench, which could be a massive improvement for them. Currently, the game between Canada and Australia is taking place. The score is sitting 12 points to 10 in favour of the Canadians. So as long as they get this ball now, kick that ball into touch, they will be going through to the quarterfinals. New Zealand versus Ireland, another one of the quarters. Alongside their Argentina, they have got their game going head-to-head up against South Africa. And then the final game is Great Britain. And their game, they are going to be taking on the French. We have to wait for this game, of course, to end before we get to see the quarterfinal between New Zealand and Ireland. I should mention straight after this game, we are covering an Irish derby in the URC. It will be Leinster taking on Munster, a phenomenal game just around the corner for that. We are going to be covering it live on the Kiwi Lads channel, as well as all of the semi-finals and then a few of the other matches taking place tomorrow for the Sevens as well. But do let me know your score prediction for this one. The penalty goes the way of Australia. They've still got half a chance of maybe being the side that does make their way through to the next stage. But I will mention the other players who are coming off the bench for New Zealand alongside Scott Curry and Tim Mickelson. Also Brady Rush, Roderick Solo, and Tupaia Savage. Last man there. And then for the Irish, Mark Roach, Jack Kelly, Andrew Smith, Sean Galvin, and Liam McNamara. So some very strong players off the bench. Andrew Smith was absolutely phenomenal in the last game that we covered on the channel with him in. Ireland got themselves a good win over Samoa, a massive win over the Japanese. Also, they did actually end up playing the Australians, of which the Australians actually got themselves the victory over the Irish. So we might get to see a rematch of that game down the line, depending on how these next results go. The Australians and the Canadians have still not given up. Australia down by 2 at the moment, 10 points to 12. So until they end their game, of course, our game will not be able to get underway, which means we'll be very close to the start of the Champions Cup game. Oh, sorry, not the Champions Cup, the URC. Just coming very soon. But I would have to guess as a first score prediction, Akulio Rokali-Soa is always a very good choice for New Zealand. You're looking through at the Irish. I mean, Jordan Conroy has been very good, but Harry McNulty, that little bit of exercise up against New Zealand, might find himself with that little bit more success. Hello, I'm here. Says Nobman, welcome in. Hope you are doing very well. Do let me know what you think the score will be. New Zealand versus Ireland. Of course, in the past, they normally go the way of the Kiwis, but could this one be the one that the Irish are able to turn it around? Henry Patterson's dropped the ball. That will be the end of the game. And Canada are going to be going through to the quarterfinals, or in fact, the semi-finals, ladies and gentlemen. I believe they're on the other side of the draw compared to the Kiwis, but Patterson putting that ball down for the Aussies. Nice to see international rugby back. Enough of boring leagues. Can New Zealand pull this off? There's coding in there. I don't know about boring leagues. I feel like there's been some very good games going on in recent competition. I should mention that we are actually going to be going back. Oh, don't show him. He's about to throw up. But yeah, we're actually going back to covering what you would call a boring league in about 20 minutes time when we do our next URC live stream, which I assume you will not be on. And also we've got there New Zealand 32, Ireland 12, the prediction there from Novmum. I think New Zealand, they will look to start this game quick up against the Irish, try and put them under added pressure. Now, the winner of Argentina versus South Africa will be the team that go on to face Canada. The winner of this next game between New Zealand and Ireland will go on to face either France or Great Britain. New Zealand ranked first, Ireland ninth in the overall ratings. Ireland want any chance of making it through to that Olympic qualification spot. They're certainly going to need to keep on building from here. Give themselves probably back-to-back golds, to be honest. And that would give them half a chance of being right up there. I like both comparatively international more. There's coding. It looks like it's either getting dark or about to rain there. In fact, no, the raindrops might just be falling in Toulouse at the end of the day. McNulty, the captain of the Irish. Big thing for them is going to be no missed tackles. I know in their game against Samoa, I think they missed about 7 when they did make 8. And that is the last thing that they want up against the Kiwis, because they will have a really good chance of getting through, possibly scoring a try. Like they've said, they've never beaten the All Blacks Sevens. Could this one be the one? The thing is, every time they say that, I always look at it and think it's going to happen one day. It's just that question of what day is it going to happen. But this game now underway, ladies and gentlemen. New Zealand will be kicking off from right to left to the Irish. Coolio Rocolisoa gets it deep. And question is, can I stay up for the Black Ferns quarterfinal? There's no, Mum. That's still in a little while, isn't it? About an hour and a half or so. Is that correct? Or is it a little bit closer? Nice ball on the outside. Stepping well here, Ireland. Number 13, Mullen dragged down. Back across to the left-hand side. Position. That will be a key for the Irish in the early stages of this contest. Just hang on to that ball as long as you physically can. Now going off to the left-hand side again here for Ireland. Billy Dardis goes across. McNulty now in the midfield. They're getting it out wide to Jordan Conroy. Quick on his feet. Goes around the outside of Dylan Collier, who missed the tackle, but Moses Leo able to drag him down. The ball just stays in the field or play a little bit of tightrope walking to keep that one inside. Where is this happening? It is in Toulouse, France for this leg. And then next leg will be happening in London at 5:35 a.m. There's Novman. The penalty does go the way of the Kiwis. Or sorry, in favour of the Irish. But Jordan Conroy is injured here. That is probably the big talking point. He is going to be all right. That is the last thing that Ireland want. It looks like either shoulder or quad, or in fact, it might be both. He fell quite awkwardly near that touchline, trying to swing it off here. See if he can walk it off as well. Yeah, it looks like just the way that he landed might have actually kneed his own knee. He might have actually got a bit of a stinger there on the side of the leg. So I hope of medics running on the field now for different sides. Those are quite cool kits. The Shamrocks and the All Blacks polo, a little bit of a split down the middle there. Very nice. She's trying to put the flag up, but I think she was standing on it, so wasn't able to get it quite up. But we have got the injury stoppage at the moment in this contest for Jordan Conroy. This is always the way, isn't it? Seems to be that when you've got a game that's supposed to start very soon, you get a whole heap of delays. Did actually have a delay earlier on as well with Australia. Saw Derby Lancaster taken off the field on a stretcher. Hopefully nothing like that happens in this fixture. The players, of course, they go through some very tough back-to-back games throughout these days. Luckily, it is only 2 games a day rather than 3. Looks like Billy Dardis will be kicking this one into touch. Now they will have themselves the line out. Oh, the sun's back out there, so it looks like should be all right for a bit longer. Women's quarterfinals, though, starting in 22 minutes. France versus Great Britain. Then there is Argentina versus South Africa. New Zealand versus Japan for the women. In the final game, Great Britain taking on the French. Now Dardis goes across here again. Short ball to Mullen was a little bit out in front of him, but driven backwards in the tackle. Ireland so far, though, having a majority of the possession throughout the first 2 minutes of this fixture. Comerford goes across to Harry McNulty. 2-on-1 tackle there. Moses Leo with a bit of physicality. Comerford once again goes back across to Dardis. Now out wide to the left-hand side. A little bit out in front of the player. Another step here from Zach Ward. Almost through 5 meters out the line now. Ireland, good opportunity here, but the counter ruck coming from New Zealand. Regan Weir unable to get that ball. Lands awkwardly as well. I think he's done his knee, has he? Oh, he's going to be all right. Now Comerford goes back across to McNulty. He's got a limping Conroy and putting the pass out in front of him. That will test out the leg. He's gone for the grubber, though. Oh, is this Is he in the field of play? He's really injured himself, though. That shoulder's got worse. It's a knock on there from Ireland, and I believe Jordan Conroy's going to have to go off the field because he does not look like he's going to be able to continue this match. Okay, they wanted to go upstairs. They say check it. And the referee's saying it's a clear knock on. All the Irish players are saying just give it another look, though, just in case. Should also mention for Jordan Conroy. Oh, tell you what. Now, them saying clear knock on, it's not as clear as they thought it was, I don't think. Does he have control? Okay, no, from that angle, it's a knock on. But I wouldn't say it's a clear knock on. I feel like that was very brave of the referees and its TMOs to say pretty much straight away, yep, it's no try. But great stepping, great footwork from Jordan Conroy. Unfortunately, though, his night is over. Hopefully, speedy recovery and hopefully we'll be all right for the games tomorrow. Definitely if Ireland are successful in this fixture. But New Zealand now 5-metre scrum just out from their own try line. Regan Weir waiting for this one out the back. It's stolen by the Irish, though, in the scrum. Feeding the ball through the legs. Just deciding to take the contact there. Brian Mullen going to be going back for the original knock-on against New Zealand. Another scrum feed here for the Irish. Jordan Conroy, that is certainly a big hit for the Irish. They've got some decent players to come off the bench, the likes of an Andrew Smith, Jack Kelly, Mark Roach. She is oh no. She stayed up all day and she's fallen asleep for the game between Ireland and the All Blacks. She had the Irish kit. She had the face painted green, orange, and white. Ireland scored just 5 tries in Singapore. They have scored 13 total in 13 games so far, in 3 games so far this weekend. So a lot more than they got in the last competition, which is promising for the Irish. Now short ball. New Zealand continue to defend. Leroy Carter makes the tackle there. Now going back across to the left-hand side. Harry McNulty now fires it off to Comerford. Tackled. And also Dylan Collier able to get themselves the clean turnover for New Zealand. And the penalty does go the way of the Kiwis. Taking the quick tap there. It's Leroy Carter trying to step, but he is tackled by McNulty. Now Sam Dixon, pressure there in the breakdown. Another penalty goes against Ireland. Looks like Regan Weir keen to take the quick tap, firing it out wide to the right-hand side where they have got Collier as well as Rockily Soa waiting, who now pins his ears back, goes to Moses Leo on the outside. And as quick as Billy Dardis wishes that he was, he's not as quick as Moses Leo, who will score the first try of the match for New Zealand. You're a champion, Hamish. Great commentary, man. Keep the same energy from start to finish, says Nazi Williams. Just the one game to go as well. The next one, Munster taking on Leinster. That is going to be a very awesome game. I'm looking forward to seeing who takes out that one. But it's kind of hard to tell because I feel like Munster are going to be a little bit closer in the game than a lot of people anticipate. The penalty actually goes the way of New Zealand. Should mention the kick was successful. Now Rockily Soul with some quick stepping there. Another wide pass from the Kiwis. Moses Leo is second of the day, and now New Zealand starting to run away with this one just that little bit more. Make the score now 14-0 for New Zealand. 2 in this match for Moses Leo, 3 throughout the match. Rockily Soa, the master of the footwork, just manages to find the gaps, even when it doesn't seem like there are any. And Moses Leo reaping the rewards out on the wing. It's lucky he's quick because he just keeps on receiving that ball and just keeps on running with it. It's a fantastic conversion from Rockily Soa as well to get that one over for New Zealand. Now 15 seconds remain in this first half. New Zealand, they normally would opt to run this rather than going for the touchline. If they do end up retaining this ball, I think Ireland will be the same. They will be looking, try their best to get a little bit of extra luck going their way. That one is not going to go the 10 metres. Ireland decide to leave it, so they will now go back to halfway. The Irish will have themselves a quick tap. Unless they go scrum, which they may actually consider. It does look like they will just go for the quick tap to get us back underway. Billy Dardis. Now just calling it, working out exactly what the plan is going to be for Ireland. And like he was going right, and then decides to go left now. Big run from Comerford. Back across now to the right-hand side. Another one across. Harry McNulty. Quick stepping there. Big fend onto Dylan Collier. Reckon we almost able to rip that ball away from the breakdown. Ireland asking for the penalty. Don't receive it in the end. So Mullen has to go back across again to this left-hand side. Here come the Irish. Nice step from Jack Kelly. Tackled by Regan Ware. Leroy Carter over the ball. Wins the penalty for New Zealand again. Looks like they do want to go for another tap and go. Yes, they do. The Kiwis, they'll go off to the right-hand side. Told as if he was going to kick it downfield. Sione Molia now inside ball. To Leroy Carter. Finds the offer to Collier Rockily. So will get the try for New Zealand. And that will be their third now of the contest. Heading into halftime. Now 21-0 ahead of the Irish. And I have to walk 500 metres to give my mum Mother's Day present. Says Nazi Williams. Just think of it as walking the length of 5 rugby fields. And you'll be good to go. Which I've mentioned, we have got another game that is going to be taking place just around the corner. Munster taking on Leinster. That will be kicking off in only 14 minutes' time. We will be going directly from this live stream to the next one. So be sure to tune in for that one as well. But Akulio Rockali, so I'm very happy with that. Did go over. So 21 points to 0 at the moment. This match between New Zealand and Ireland. Yeah, but I'm pissed, mate, says Nazi. Oh, yes, that will feel like a very long way, won't it? Can you get a taxi 500 metres? How much would they charge you for that? And Toulouse, they're hosting Sevens coding. Here's Blues, Nate. Currently 3 visits to the opposition, 22 for the Irish, but they are yet to get themselves a try, whereas New Zealand, 3 visits to the opposition, 22, have led to 3 tries being scored by the Kiwis. 34 passes for Ireland. They missed 0 tackles. They've only actually made 1. New Zealand have made 15 tackles. They have missed the 7 in the process. But they are still sitting very nicely at that 21-0 mark. Really pretty tricky to go down from that kind of scoreline, but Sevens, you can just never quite tell. 4 tries is possible in a singular half. The Irish, though, they will have to make sure that they do get them early on. Do you see All Blacks play at another level at crunch situations like in this match? So it's kind of a little bit different. All Blacks compared to this All Blacks 7 side, completely different squad, but this side always know how to turn up when they need to. And that is why they are sitting top of the overall standings at the moment. That is why they've got automatic Olympic qualification. But these guys, the experience off the bench, I think that they should be able to maybe even increase this differential between the two sides by just that little bit more. And I've just realized that with the time that this half is starting, any stoppages means that our next live stream will be slightly late. Unfortunately, that is just the case with 7. Sometimes the games run longer. Sometimes we get TMO decisions, player injuries that then can cause a few delays. So what we are going to do while we're at it, we're going to be strategic here, and we're actually going to set our background now to the Aviva. You might wonder why I do that. That is so that we're all ready to go for that next live stream. We're working smarter, not harder. And I was at coding. You're a cool guy. Always ask good, respectful questions. Says Nazi. Now Billy Dardis kicks it back off. Slapped back by Harry McNulty, but it's taken by Leroy Carter. Going off to the left-hand side. Sam Dixon. Sione Molia now out to Dylan Collier. Moses Leo already scoring 2 tries so far throughout this Sevens game. Still got 7 minutes to be able to get another bat. Now Regan Ware in the midfield. Inside ball to Akulio Rockali. So I thought about going for the offload, but instead just held up by Comerford, who eventually wrestles him to the turf. Now Dylan Collier thinks about the pass off to Leroy Carter. Couldn't quite find it to him in the end. Now through the legs. Carter doesn't end up with the ball, but it is a knock-on against the Irish. So New Zealand, we end up back in position. Like they're saying, Collier's been extremely busy throughout this contest already. At his time off again. This game's going to cost me a little bit. Definitely if it keeps on running along, I might even go to the start of Leinster Munster. And I was, you're not rude and disrespectful like me. And I always keep us posted on the Black Cats update. There's Nate there. Only one tackle made so far by the Irish. They are up, or they now are up to 5, I should say. Rokalisoa feeds the ball in now for New Zealand. Once again, the ball's a little bit loose. Regan Ware trying to dodge the tackle attempt to Mark Roach, who got him down low. Now Leroy Carter went to a pass there to Sione Molia, which didn't exist, and that's going to be a knock on against Carter. Advantage in favour of the Irish. Looks like they are going to have themselves a scrum feed. Leroy Carter not having the best game here up against Ireland, unfortunately. That child has gone to sleep. Very tired child. Now 5 minutes 20 remaining. So New Zealand are once again going to be making another sub. Mark Roach about to feed the ball in for the Irish. Still 5 minutes remaining. Arch out to Coding. Here's Nuzzy Williams. Now Roach feeds the ball. And I've noticed the coverage has been a little bit glitchy for Toulouse. I'm not sure whether or not that is Sky's coverage or just in general. It might just be the bad weather that they have got maybe lurking around, making it not quite run smoothly as they would have liked. The ball available at the back. Andrew Smith just holding it there. Now New Zealand with that counter ruck. Brilliant work from the Kiwis, but there was a little knock on the ground once again from New Zealand. Now Roach. Once again, we find ourselves with a bit of deja vu. Oh, time off again. 5 and 7, another 2 replacements being made for New Zealand. Leo, no hurry, making his way off the field. That lady is getting passed across. Oh, gee, she almost fell. So be careful with the crowd surfing. Got to make sure that you know the people underneath you can hold you up. But 3-0 in terms of the offloading stat. Here comes Scott Curry, and also it will be Tim Mickelson, both making their way onto the field now for New Zealand. 4.5 minutes remaining. Roach puts the ball in now for the Irish. Back across now. Nice step from Andrew Smith. Very nicely there. Now Comerford goes off to the right-hand side. Bounce past to Harry McNulty. One more on the outside. Another step. Just trying their absolute best to break through here. Jack Kelly, morning Kiwi lads. How are we doing? Very well at the most. Spider-Man, we've got another game just around the corner. Munster versus Leinster. It'll be a great contest to cover. And who won the last 3 gold medals in rugby at the Olympics? Fiji, I believe, have won both of the times that they were available in the Olympics. I believe it's the 2 in a row for the Fijians. I'm not sure whether or not they had it the year before. Maybe Fiji didn't take part, but I believe ever since the Fijians joined the Rugby World Cup Sevens, the Olympic Sevens, they were able to get themselves the gold medals. That lady's still crowd surfing. I think they're just passing each other from one end to the other at the moment. That group has got very bored by the end of the day at the Sevens. Either that or they have been drinking a lot of alcohol. Probably that second one. It's going to be now a free kick to New Zealand. Now to Paya Savage. Goes across to Brady Rush. Now nice run out wide from Roderick Solo. Fenn goes in. Rush gets the line break. And New Zealand score themselves another try. It now makes us score 26 points to 0 here. His first try of the match. Second of Toulouse for Brady Rush. And you'd have to say that the quarterfinal is all but secured. So the winner of this contest will go on to face the winner of Great Britain versus France, which at the moment seems more likely to be the French out of those 2 sides. Okay, that's another level now, says Nuzzy Williams, and also Fiji, says Coding. Oh, sorry, Fiji, says Nate, Coding. That kick has gone over. Now I'm making the score 28 points to 0. It's now ticked off to 4:25 a.m. That is exactly when the next live stream was going to be starting. Like I mentioned, there were going to be overlaps at some point. Unfortunately, due to the stoppages, this game has gone about 20 plus minutes. New Zealand have never lost to Ireland. 9 out of 9 wins. One has not gone the 10 metres, but Ireland decide to claim it anyway. Ball bounces out the back. Now going off to the right-hand side, Ireland now slinging it back across. 2 minutes 10 remaining. Mark Roach tackled low. That one by the Kiwis. Now Andrew Smith going back across to Liam McNamara. Harry McNulty still inside of their own 22 here. Ireland, they have had 3 visits to New Zealand's 22, but they are yet to get themselves a singular point in this contest. That one will be once again another scrum. That's been happening a lot throughout this contest, it would seem. It looks like Regan Weir just doing his cool downs at the moment. We'll quickly do, hopefully, if it allows us. Hopefully you guys can still see me, which I believe you are. I am just very quickly getting that next live stream to the point of being ready to go so that we can pretty much go straight onto it as soon as this match is over. There we go. That is all good to go. Fiji won golds. Yeah, nah, but yeah, says Nate. A laughing face there from Nuzzy Williams. Now 1 minute remaining on the clock. Ireland feed the ball in. Back across now to the left-hand side. McNamara taken down well. Now Mark Roach goes back across again. Kicks it in behind. That ball is going to be staying in the field of play. Bounces up awkwardly though, but it does go back into the hands of Mark Roach for the Irish. There's going to be another knock-on. I think the second half has been knock-on simulator at this point. I think we're seeing more knock-ons than runs between the two sides, unfortunately, which has been a bit of an anticlimax because of how quickly that first half started. Seemed to be all-out action, but now just seems like it has slightly slowed down that little bit more. Like that. We will go like that. Now, 5, like they've just said on the commentary, if you've got a guy looking at scrums or a prop in the making, show him this game because of all the scrums. Now, Ireland, one last crack at attacking here. And we going back across to the side. Now, nice step. Roderick Solo dragged down here. Who is going to win the series? Our men, or for the men, our sisters won the ladies, says Spider-Big. I mean, it's a tricky one because there's still a couple of very good sides. All that's going to be fired out wide. Ireland still keep this one in the field of play. And how long next game, bro? The next game, I was supposed to start my live stream 3 minutes ago for Leinster versus Munster. But that game is going to be kicking off in 2 minutes' time now, and we may not have any build-up for that matchup due to how long this game has ended up running. That ball has gone out wide. Are New Zealand going to put it into touch? Nope, they decide they want to continue playing because they know we're on a tight schedule. Now, Roderick Solo finds the offload again. Going off now to the right-hand side to play a Savage. Goes to Roderick Solo through the legs to Brady Rush. You're just going to keep on going. Roderick Solo, right. He scores the try now. We are going to have to end this live stream, ladies and gentlemen, because, New Zealand making a couple errors. It's gone backwards. Big shot on him. But that is the end of this match. New Zealand winning it 35 points to 0. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I will go straight over to that next live stream. We'll see you all in a very, very short moment.